As the compressor continues to work, we examine the tire on the outside and the inside around there, look for nails, look for anything that might have caused this leak of air, So if we can find something, then we'll point it out to the customer. Well, hello everyone, it's Chris. Once again, we got a call for a flat out. We're gonna go out there and put some air in the tire and get the tire serviced really quick. It's cyclone bomb northwest, so rain is profusely and winds are blowing, and it's cold outside, maybe 38, 36, 37, somewhere around there depending on where you're at. But with that in mind, I'm heading out to see about getting this tire fixed, at least inflated, and if needed to be removed and replaced. So here we go. We're here to the vehicle. We're going to be going and examining the tire, and then taking a look to see what we need to do to get the tire inflated. Looks like in this case we got a simple low or no pressure in the tire. So I noticed the bead itself is leaking air, so we tried pumping air in it, and it was profusely leaking around the bead. So that means we're gonna lift up the vehicle and then try to fix that bead first before we keep putting air in it. Okay, air compressor. My jack itself needs to be cleaned up because it's been sitting there for a while, but we got to make certain that it's greased and ready to go all the time. So here we go. We pull the jack out. Jack's hooked up. Vehicle is off the ground. Then we got the tire off the ground. We can rotate and push in that bead so it locks in place while we're getting there. Jack's holding the vehicle up, and here we go. Put the compressor. The compressor is building up air. That bead itself will seal right in here because it's off the ground. It's not being pressured. And then you can feel with your hand if there's any leak. You can always spray something. But as you can see, the compressor is building pressure right now, or showing, and the tire, you can feel it, and then you can take a reading. These tires are generally about 35 to 45 psi. We're going to read to see what it is that the manufacturer recommended pressure on this tire is, and then we're going to inflate it only to that specific measurement. As the compressor continues to work, we examine the tire on the outside and the inside around there, look for nails, look for anything that might have caused this leak of air, So if we can find something, then we'll point it out to the customer. If we can't find something, we recommend that it gets into a service shop and gets professionally looked at, put underwater and a little bit of air stress to see where the air is leaking. It could be that the bead itself, being that the tire may be a little older, the bead itself is worn out. The vehicle might have been sitting for a while. It's cold outside, and when the tires are going old and they're not being used, not stretched out, not inflated, they decrease in pressure. And then around the wheel rim, there's a seal that causes pressure to release, and then it starts slowly decreasing, and then eventually you'll get a flat tire. As the air in the environment gets cold outside, it decreases the pressure inside the tire, and it basically you lose air. And so that might be the cause here. I've already examined the tire. I couldn't find any nails or anything unusual with the tire itself, other than the fact that it's very cold outside and the vehicle hasn't moved for a while, and likely the bead itself kind of released the air. So that was the first discovery when I came upon it. Right now we're about 25 psi. So this compressor, actually we're about 20 psi. Compressor works fine. If you got to move away from a vehicle, I do have a compressor in that service truck there, but the hose may not reach, so I'm doing this because this still works just as well. Not as quick, obviously, but it will do its trick. Once we get to 45 psi's, or in this case 40 psi's, we're going to stop it. You can regulate this compressor to 40, 50, even 100 psi's to stop exactly on the dime. So right now it's set up to 45, but we're going to stop it at 40. The vehicle is suspended up in the air by the support on the frame itself. Once the tire is completely inflated, we're going to lower it back down, disconnect, and be on our way. This is a beautiful car. It's a Nissan. This is a well-maintained vehicle. The customer drives it regularly every now and then, but I understand it's a backup car. I love these color vehicles because you can blend in with regular traffic, and one of these Nissan Pathfinders can take you pretty much anywhere you need to go. However, if you got no use for the vehicle and you're not really driving it, sometimes you got to maintain it. Old tire, it's a good tread, but the tire needs to be driven, especially in cold weather. As the weather gets colder, just like with batteries, you got to maintain, you got to run them, replace the batteries, replace the tires that are getting old, otherwise they deflate. So that said, we're almost done and we're almost out of here, but this is definitely a beautiful car. While you're here, you might as well look at the other tires that is on the car itself. Check the pressure on all tires, look at the tread, look for any nails, look for any obstructions. The customer will be happy knowing that her vehicle was completely inspected by a professional, or a service technician, a roadside emergency service technician, or whatever, whatever you are. Look at the tires, inspect, check the tire pressure, look at the vehicle itself, give peace of mind to the customer. And so we've already done that. We checked the tire pressures on all additional 3 tires. We're going to inflate this to, let's take a look, see where we're at. We're at 36.5, so we're going to go to 37 and stop it, because we want to see how it's going to hold up. And the idea, what we left the customer with, is because she's not planning to drive it regularly, if this sits around for about a week or a couple days and the tire deflates again, there's a good chance that bead needs to be looked at and serviced. So we'll come back here for free. By the way, this whole cost for this service here, especially customers that we treat like family, is complimentary. Putting air in the tire is really a service that we love to do. So that in mind, I think we're good here. We're going to stop it at 38 psi's and disconnect. Oh, we got an issue here. What? Uh-oh. I hear air escaping at the nozzle for some reason. Don't know why that is. That might have been the original cause. I do have a cap for that. That was something we didn't notice because it didn't have air in it initially. We do have a cap that, see if that's going to stop the leak from escaping. I don't think it will. I think there's... Okay. Well, we stopped it temporarily, but I think there's an issue with the nozzle that needs to be looked at. See, I'm not even pushing on it and it's releasing, so likely there's need to be, when I push my finger in there, it does. Maybe I need some WD-40 in there to release. Maybe the spring is going. Anyway, let's see if we can spray some lubricating oil on there, see, make it stop. You can hear it now escaping, and that's definitely an issue that is going to decrease. So that might have been the original cause. So let's see if we can make that stop. Use this WD-40 have. Here we go, WD-40. We're going to spray some of that on the spring inside that nozzle, see if that's going to release it, and then see if that's going to fix the problem.